Hey, welcome to another video from the House of EdTech podcast. My name is Chris Nessie, and in my last video, I attempted to follow Jen Giffen's recent blog post about how to podcast for free using Google Slides and the insert audio function. Now, when I did that in the last video, which I will link to down below and also up above in this video, I screwed up. I was using not a browser called Chrome. I was using the Brave browser, which I've been experimenting with and trying to use in my workflow. But now we're going to take a look at doing this through the Chrome browser and see if we get a different result. But first, if you're not subscribed to the House of EdTech podcast, you're going to want to head over to chrisnessie.com/go. And if you are interested in listening to the show and better integrating technology into your classroom or your school or your district, the House of EdTech is the podcast for you. chrisnessie.com/go will take you to the appropriate place to subscribe to the show on your podcast listening device of choice. And here on the screen, you see chrisnessie.com, my two most recent episodes, episode 149, TikTok for Teachers and hashtag TikTokEDU, and episode 150, How Can EdTech Boost Creativity? But enough self-promotion. Let's get into making a podcast in Google Slides. So we're back in the Google slideshow that I made in the last video. So we have here the example show, Mr. Nessie's Social Studies Class podcast. We made the artwork here on the first slide. And here on the second slide, we've got episode 1. We have a description of the episode. Welcome to our class podcast. Click the icon to listen. Now, let's put the audio in. So we are again going to go to Insert, Audio, and I'm going to go into my recent area. And we will see 3 recordings that I created using a couple of free online recording tools. I have a WAV file, I have an MP3 file, and then I have one that was recorded in WAV and output as an MP3 file. So let's pick the MP3 file because more than likely that's what you'll have your students creating wherever they're recording audio. So let's grab that MP3 file from our Google Drive. We will highlight it and select it. And voila, like magic, it works. So there we go. And this should play. So let's click the play icon. All right, so we have, now what I'd like to be able to do is, can I move this around? I don't want it to play. Let's see if we can refresh this and see if we can put this player icon in a different spot. So here's what we want to try. So we're refreshing the slideshow, and this is the joy of live. We've got our first slide, we've got our second slide. Okay, I can still, well, let's see, can I move it now? Can I change the size of it? All right, so, I mean, that's a little wonky. I'd like to be able to, in the edit mode, not have to kind of do that. I'd like it to be able to be easily grabbable, but as you can see, it is possible. So now if I go into present mode, let's see what this looks like. So we have our slideshow. So this could be embedded on a Google site. It could be embedded on a school web page to share audio from maybe your school or your district. Or obviously, if you're an individual teacher, you can share it this way as well. So we have our class podcast. We can advance to episode 1, and we get our play button. All right, so it looks like this is a success, and really, obviously, make sure you're not using a browser other than Chrome, or else you're not going to get the results that you want, which is having your kids be able to create a podcast. So, Jen Giffen, huge shout out to you. Definitely go check out the post. I will link to that in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, all that fun stuff you do on YouTube. And again, if you're not subscribed to the House of EdTech podcast, head over to chrisnessy.com, or if you're on your podcast listening device, head over to chrisnessy.com/go. I'll see you on the next episode of the podcast. And if there's something you'd like me to make a tutorial or a screencast for, leave a comment below this video, and I'd like to start doing this. Until next time, remember, using technology isn't difficult. Just give it a try.